Right. Here's the message of the day. Stop eating shitty food.
You know what's funny about living in a smaller area like I live in now? It's like, because there's no real news here, like, all kinds of petty bullshit gets put on the news, you know? It's like, if you do the most minor thing, you end up on the news. It's like, you gotta be careful. Like, you're in Chicago, none of this shit would end up on the news. Like, one guy drove fucking his car. He purposely drove a car into someone's garage door. It was like, that ended up on the fucking news.
Purposely.
Like, up in Chicago, that wouldn't even fucking make the paper. It's like, nobody would even care.
They'd be like, oh, all he did is drive in the door. He didn't get out with a baseball bat and smash someone. He's a pussy.
I mean, it's like, the news is really weird here. I don't get it.
This guy here I was talking about, he had gone to Chicago a long time ago, and he said the cab driver had told him, now for the next couple miles, don't get out of the car. And he's like, if someone walks up to us, I'm taking off, even if it's a red light. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
That's
you gotta know what you're doing up there if you want to survive.
I said, that's someone from there. Imagine they could tell you're not from here, and they'll really be a predator.
Yeah. They could tell because you look them in the eye.
Yeah, because you're fucking there.
That dude looked me in the eye. He ain't from around here.
What the fuck's he doing here? Crazy cracker. What the hell's that cracker doing here? With a baseball hat.
With a red baseball hat.
He must be lost. Because there ain't no jobs over here for a cracker like him. Yeah. If he had a suit on, I think he was an attorney.
Yeah, the news, man. There's been a lot of weird shit going on lately.
I know, it's like there's just way too many crazy fucking people in this world. I mean, really crazy. This guy's over at my friend's house, and like, he comes by and eats sometimes, and my friend's mom feels sorry for him because he's missing a chromosome or something, or he bumped his head, or, one of those guys. Gary Busey.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he says, I'm not kidding, bro. This is exactly what he said. Thank God our show is for adults only. So if there's any kids in the room, shame on yourself. Anyway, he says, when I became a man, they enlarged my clit into a penis. And we were like, what? I mean, talk about out of the clear blue sky subjects. And I was like, I told him, is it about an inch or smaller? And he goes, smaller than that, he said.
Oh, my God.
So he's legit a cracker. See, because they do that, but it's just a little teeny penis.
Yeah.
How they make it. I think they take male hormones and it grows or something like that. But don't think that's how it really happens. Because you may be disappointed, all you women out there who want a penis.
Who want a penis.
Go to it and properly get the penis.
Can you get a penis put on you if you're a girl and want to be a guy?
Don't act
Can
like...
you?
Don't even think about ordering a penis online.
Can you get a penis put on you?
I'm pretty sure you can, dude. I don't know if it works, but if you can, I should look it up. I want another one.
I'll have a spare penis.
That's my backup. So when I'm done over here and he's tired, I switch
over to this penis. I wonder if anybody's ever been born with two penises.
Yeah, that is weird. There's one chick was born with two heads, with two brains, but we talked about that.
Yeah.
But I want a big penis, because a lot of good-looking chicks like black guys.
You have one black penis and one white penis. Oh, that'd be weird. I think I'll use the black penis tonight.
Go out on a date and she's like, tell me a little bit about yourself. You're like, well, I'm a carpenter. I own 2 cars. I'm planning on doing a little traveling maybe. And I have 2 penises. What about you?
I have 2 penises.
Well, I think it's weird you have 2 breasts. I think that's a little weird. 1 is plenty.
No, I Googled it. There's the name of it.
Which one I get attention to. Hear me?
It's called diphtheria. Diphtheria or double penis, a rare genetic condition.
Diphtheria?
As bad as that sounds, yeah.
There is such a thing as 2 penises. Born. So one of them's not black, unless your dad was black. You could have a black and white one. But
it happens to 1 out of every 5 to 6 million baby boys.
Really? Do they remove it, or is he like a circus freak? I don't know, a minute.
Huh.
You could drive, I don't care.
Wow, where are you going?
Hold on 1 second.
What were we talking about before the 2 penises? I had something to say.
It's amazing how you get distracted by 2 cocks on one person.
It kind of like cleans your palate.
I'm pretty much guessing you're like to talk at a party wherever the hell you go.
I think he's gonna show you, JR.
They're like, how big's your penis? And you're like, what the fuck? How big? I just spilled something on me. How big's your penis?
Which one?
18 inches. What? 18? Well, both of them add up to 18 inches. Which one?
You say which one, though?
Like, are you a boy or a girl? I'm definitely a boy. Like, God wanted to make sure I was a boy. Hey, are any women born with 2 vaginas? Now, that's a crazy question.
Yeah.
Well, kind of they are.
Yeah.
They're kind of born with 2.
Yeah, that's fucking weird, dude. What were we talking about before that? Let's rewind the tape.
Oh, probably wasn't as rude as what we're talking about now.
We got on a bad subject.
I got something funny. I bought this thing. It's some kind of like a muscle milk. I'm not gonna say what brand it's from, but if you're working on your midsection, anyway, this shit's rotten, dude. I was like, I took a swig and I thought, it tastes kind of funny, but it does have protein additives and shit. And then I took a big and it's bad. And I'm like, But the date's not bad. So it makes me wonder if they take like some little out of date milk and make shit with this. You know, we'll throw some flavoring.
Instead of tossing the milk?
Well, it's not like really as popular as probably the regular chocolate milk. You know, so they have to do something to lower their cost in order to get it on the shelf. So they buy milk that maybe wouldn't quite make it to the cooler if it was just milk.
You know, my son, I gotta tell this story because he doesn't listen to the show, otherwise I wouldn't say it, but he's going on a date, you know? He hasn't been on a date since his breakup and everything. So he met this really cool chick who's a paralegal and shit, and she's fucking awesome, I guess. So he's going on his first date with her, right? And he was taking his shirt out because my wife is like, hey, text me what you're going to wear. So he takes his shirt out, to like show her, and he's like, hey, what about this shirt? And he accidentally texted to the fucking girl he's going out with.
That is so funny because I did a blooper, a text blooper
He
today.
did a fucking blooper.
Which I've probably done before and no one even, I didn't
That's
realize.
funny, right?
But here's what I did. I texted dude at work, okay, the guy I'm working for. I texted him about the job. He asked me a couple questions. So I returned his text, and then I was going to text my girlfriend, but I accidentally texted him back. I said, hey, are you ready to go, doll? And he's like, doll face? He's like, oh, yeah, I guess I am. He put doll face back, like, first a big question mark, then he made him.
Then he figured it out.
And my bad, over here.
That was my fault. How's this shirt? He texted her. How's this shirt? He fucking holds his shirt up. He's going on a first date with her.
He can't wear that
She
shirt
like gave him
now.
a thumbs up. Good one. I like it.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. Wear that one. I'll buy you new ones when we really hook up.
It's like, what the fuck? That's a kind of major fuck up.
No, it ain't.
It's kind of fun.
Cool. He said he cares, so he
Yeah.
looks right. It's showing that he's like not on the top of the, dressing scale either.
He's got to get it all worked out.
She's gonna have to send him to what kind of presents should you buy me school.
Well, he texted her back that he meant to send it to his sister so that she could. He didn't put, I meant to send it to my mom. So, even though he was sending it to his mom.
About that. I was sending it to my ex-girlfriend, make sure that this wasn't our shirt. You know what I mean, right?
God.
I was texting this to my ex-girlfriend saying, would this one have kept you around?
Yeah.
Then she texts back, that's the reason I broke up with you, that shirt. You remember what we were doing that day?
Yeah.
No, that's why we broke up.
It's all because of that shirt.
Remember those girls were looking at you in the park and you smiled? Like, what am I supposed to do? Frown? Of course.
We go to the beach. We go to the beach a lot, and sometimes they'll be like, the whole beach will be fucking open, right? And some chick will like plop down next to me in the thong and just lay there fucking next to me with Kim sitting right there. It's like, she's like, can't you point that somewhere else? That's what Kim's saying.
That's almost about as bold as it gets.
It's like, what are you doing? Fucking weird chicks.
You should have said to your wife, you ever thought about 3 of us?
Yeah. What's going on there? It happened the other day.
You thought about it. I'm not saying you were going to do it, but did you ever think about it?
Fucking beach is weird. I don't even think twice about it anymore. There's so much of that shit at the beach. It's like...
Really, you get adapted. That's like the mountains. They were so awesome, and it's just no big deal now. It's crazy.
You just kind of acclimate to it.
You hear that thunder?
Is that what that is?
The Thunderbolt.
How about that dude who hung himself in the cell?
We should play. I didn't even hear about that. Oh, yeah, I know what you're
Everybody's like conspiracy theorying that thing, like, because he was gonna turn a whole bunch of fucking info out on a bunch of high-level people. One of them was Prince Andrew, you know? Or the Clintons. They're saying the Clintons are involved. That's what Trump said. Trump said, isn't it funny how the Clintons are always... people end up dead? He thinks it's the Clintons. That's what Trump thinks. It's like...
Huh. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with governments.
Has to do with Queen Elizabeth, you know. Whenever she wants someone dead, they probably end up dead.
She's like the Black Widow.
Yeah. She didn't want Prince Andrew getting involved with the whole thing. He had his arm. There's a picture of him with his arm around one of them young girls, man, when she had a half shirt on and shit, supposedly. It's like, what was he doing?
You know what he was doing. That was, what was it, in the 70s?
You know, when you're at that level, man, it seems like if there's any question about a girl's age, man, you're just gonna fucking bail.
Oh, shit. That's God saying you better.
He's saying you better change the subject. You better change the subject.
Any question at all, ask for 2 forms of ID.
Yeah. Let me call your mother. Give me your mother's phone number. I'm going to call her and find out how old you are.
Right? You start asking her questions that she would have to know at that age. How old are you? 26. Okay, you're like, you start bringing up. You remember the Exxon Valdez?
You remember Milli Vanilli?
You know the Exxon Valdez oil spill? You're trying to bring her back to where you remember Milli Vanilli. Yeah.
You're trying to come up with shit.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Something crazy like that.
I'm gonna have to try you out with this. You ever watch the Teletubbies? Really? As a kid?
Yeah.
Can you sing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song?
That has to be the limit.
Oh!
That has to be the limit, like the Teletubbies. If you watch the Teletubbies, you're too young for me.
If you ever, right. You ever heard of Howdy Doody? And I'm not talking about the ice cream flavor either. You come up with some old shit.
Yeah.
You're like, sing the Beverly Hillbillies theme song. Can't, you know her. Then one day he was shooting up some food and up from the ground came some bubbling crew.
Yeah.
Or like, you ever heard of the TV show? Yes, I said TV show called Hee Haw. And it really had a live studio audience, not this fake recorded thing.
Did you ever watch Saved by the Bell? Then
No.
you know she's too young.
You know I'm too old if I never watched it.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, can you name all the Cosbys? And leave Bill. Forget about Bill. The rest of
Bill, they're still playing that here. They're playing the Cosby Show.
That's
like on a fucking channel you can watch it like fucking 5 days a week. Who's watching the Cosby Show now? It's like it fucking has a whole bunch of weird meaning now when you watch it. And you're like,
are they trying to bring the sweater back or something?
Yeah. Jeez, the Cosbys.
They're like, that's Lisa Bonet? Is that right?
That's right, right? Isn't she the older daughter?
Hot back in the day before she tore herself up with drugs and alcohol. Was that her? I'm sure she dabbled a little, right? She hung around Lenny Kravitz. Is he a partier, though? Or just a hippie?
Isn't she married to, like, Aquaman now or something?
I don't know, but she was with Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta be a badass dude to outplay that dude. Yeah, I was gonna keep dating you, but you're boring.
You're boring. You got boring.
You're nowhere near like Lenny. Everything's Lenny. Lenny this, Lenny could cook a better taco. Lenny could eat a better taco. Then pretty soon you just break up with her. Or you change your name to Lenny, one of the two. Wouldn't that be fucked up? You come home. Hey, honey, I changed my first name legally to your ex-boyfriend's name.
Yeah, that's true. You know the new Aquaman dude? New dude who's Aquaman?
I think so. I mean, I don't know him personally. I think I bumped him into him in a bar one time. We were chit-chatting, and I told him, you know what, dude? You should be the man from Atlantis. No, Aquaman.
I just don't understand what he sees in that chick anymore.
I gave him the idea. Well, a little bit of Lenny rubbed off on her, so she's cool as hell, probably.
I guess. It just seems like she's old and he's young.
He's so hip, though, you know, Lenny Kravitz. Like, hey, man, everything's... You never heard of him getting in trouble or nothing?
Look, he's 40 years old, right? And she's 51.
Yeah, what does she look like? I haven't seen her in a bit.
I'm just saying, it seems like a big spread in age there. What's he fucking doing with that?
Yeah, that's nuts.
I get that. That don't make any sense.
Or something that you just don't know, man. What did Lenny see in her?
Yeah, well, he's got to be hit the 50-something, right?
I don't know, but I know what he probably said to her when they broke up.
Huh.
I got to get away. I wanna fly.
55. Damn, people got old. I don't think he was that old, but he is. He's like an old man now. Fucking people got old.
Your socks get taller. All kinds of your pants get pulled up closer to your nipples, or your spine shrinks. One of the two, but it happens.
You gotta buy new pants. You just don't do it. It's a problem.
You start tucking in t-shirts. Like, I don't know why you're afraid of insects. Because you can't you can't swat at insects anymore. You're not agile enough, so you have to tuck in the shirt so a bee doesn't get in there. The tucking. Whatever happened to the tuck?
Nobody tucks anything in anymore.
Oh, you tuck. You're like, you tucked, huh? Did you go to etiquette school, or are you just
tucking your shirt in?
My grandpa used to tuck his t-shirt in his underwear, remember?
Yeah.
That's so
I used to get in
uncomfortable.
trouble
I can't
for
even
that
stand it.
when I was a kid.
Huh. It is kind of weird. Whoever got you in trouble is a smart thing, because you would have grown up to be a fucking weirdo. I
fucking got in trouble for that.
I used to pull my socks up.
I used to tuck my shirt in my underwear, but I got spanked.
A lot of things you learn over time the hard way.
I learned everything the hard way.
So did I. We need that class in school. All the hard way shit.
I could teach that class, man. I got a fucking doctorate in that. Fucking learning shit the hard way.
The school of hard knocks. I graduated from the school of hard knocks.
My first day, my first class is going to be on tucking your shirt in.
One time my friend goes, let me show you something. And he walks over to his car and he has a bumper sticker that says,
You know, I can move it up. I'll move it.
The bumper sticker said, friends don't let friends have mullets. And then I said to him, what's a mullet? And he goes, that thing on your head. I was like, oh, damn.
Why, you had one?
Like I said, I learned. Yeah, I did at the time. That's how I learned what a mullet was.
Wow.
So how's the weather been down yonder? Is that what they call it when you're up yonder? Is there such thing as up yonder or just down yonder?
I'm getting yelled at, I think, by my wife. Oh, no, it's my brother.
It's the American way.
He's coming home.
Why talk to people when you could yell?
When you can text.
It's the American way. Why talk to me when you could yell at me, honey?
All we ever do is text.
It's the point. she's like, well, you're yelling at me. No, I'm not. I'm Italian. It's just how we sound.
A guy at my work, one of my customers is like, I think he's like Puerto Rican or something, or he might be Mexican or something, but he owns a big business, you know. And I knew what he wanted. He was coming in to get something, and I knew, because he called me earlier, and so he's walking looking for it, and I walked up behind him, and I knew right where it was. I was going to grab it. He goes, dude, he goes, I hate it when white people sneak up behind me. And I go,
Really?
I go, man, I ain't white, I'm Italian. He goes, oh, that means you're half black. He goes, you're cool. He goes, are you Sicilian? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, you're half black, man. You're fine.
You're like, that explains the big penis.
It was funny as shit. He thought the same thing, I think.
I would have said that to him. That's why I'm an incredible athlete, and I have a big penis.
I can run really fast.
I always wondered why.
Yeah.
I always wondered why I didn't like sauerkraut. Turns out, and you're thinking, I do like all the soul foods. Like, all the things start to come into play.
Dude, I'm black. I go, I ain't white. I'm Italian.
We're all kind of a little bit of a mix. They're like, he's like, I sent my DNA into DNA.com, and they told me I wasn't even German. This whole time I've been eating that potato salad thinking that my great-great-great-grandfather invented it, and it turns out I'm Scottish. I'm a drunk bastard.
I don't think any of that shit's right.
They lie to him. I bet someone's laughing when they send back that information. Let's tell this guy he's Scottish. He thinks he's German just because his name's Hitler.
You get it all mixed up and shit.
Right.
Some disgruntled employee just like shuffling all the fucking results.
I'm black and Swedish.
I'm Native American.
Right.
I'm Native American and my family just got here from fucking Germany.
You're like, I can't believe it, but I'm Samoan.
I'm Chinese.
You're the smallest Samoan on the planet.
I'm Chinese and Vietnamese.
I must be a pygmy Samoan.
That's it, a pygmy Samoan. I'm an albino pygmy Samoan.
I'm actually Mexican because I like tequila and Mexican food the best. So really, I think I am pretty much Mexican food. I know. I think maybe we were Mexican.
Why is Mexican food so good? It's like...
I love Italian food, but I love Mexican food.
Me too.
Here's why. Because it's a lot of meat, you know, like...
It's all the shit and stuff is good. It's like...
This one comedian goes, I went to a Mexican restaurant, and I didn't know what any of the stuff was. He says, so... I asked her, what's on your steak taco? And she says, that's a flour tortilla, steak, tomato, lettuce, onion, and cheese. And then she goes, well, what's in your steak burrito? And she goes, a flour tortilla, steak, tomato, onion, lettuce, and cheese. And then he goes, what's in your chimichanga? She goes, a flour tortilla, steak, lettuce, tomato, cheese, and guacamole. He said it's all the same shit. It's just named different names. Same tortilla, same. It's the same fucking thing, dude. Taco and a burrito are the same. Only one's folded and one's rolled.
Not really.
How it's a burrito? Well, the burrito is a taco that transformed over the years because riding horses, all the meat would fly out of the taco. So we rolled it up. It became a burrito. We changed the name to burrito. Burrito means meat flying out of a taco shell.
I always order tacos. I don't ever order burritos.
I always order beef burritos, and I say it like, beef, moo, meat, not beans, not the plant. And it's always a fucking beef burrito.
Yeah. They're just fucking with you.
Fuck, I told you
No
no
beans in my
beans.
burrito.
Why the fuck? Okay, listen, I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I've never been able to understand this. You could explain it to me. Why the fuck would I put beans in there if I could put more steak?
Hold the beans, extra steak.
Hold the beans, fill it with steak where the beans would have been. And don't skimp on the steak. Bullshit. You would have loaded mostly beans. I know the real reason.
I've been eating way too much
Money.
fucking beef lately. Even though I say I shouldn't be eating it, I just can't stop fucking eating it.
Here's what you do. And this is from a nutritionist, not me. Eat more
I
vegetables.
know, I gotta stop eating meat.
You want protein? Eat beans. Eat shit like that has
Yeah.
protein. Broccoli has. You could literally get enough protein from enough vegetables. Now, the flagellants is going to be bad.
Yeah.
But there's ways around. No, I actually got this
I gotta
food
start
chart,
stop
and they
eating
tell
meat.
you there's stuff you eat that counteracts the effect of the flagellants. Oh, I remember the subject now. Flagellants.
Yeah.
Check it out. So, this is probably true. This is some science shit for you to look up, or no. You probably know the answer to this, because I think I do.
Okay.
I'm pretty good. So, if I was to get in my car, buy a bag of Doritos, and I would drive up the mountains, the higher up in the mountains, the bigger and bigger this bag gets. It gets blown up like a balloon because the pressure's different or some
PV
shit.
equals nRT.
So, wouldn't it make sense that if you're down in Denver, which is lower, and you drive up into the mountains, that your farts get bigger in your stomach and you fart a little more?
Yeah, I would think at least the fart would be, if it's trapped in a container,
Right.
then
It's in
your
your
fart would be taking up more space.
Yep. So, here's how I notice this. Every time I drive in the mountains, it's like,
The farts just keep coming out.
it's like, how come I gotta fart so much? And I
that's
always
it.
thought food, right? The food. What did I eat today? It has nothing to do with it, what you ate
Right.
today. Well, tell me, Dr. Tom, what seems to be the trouble? What was that? Equals
It's
NRT? What
PV
was that?
equals nRT.
PV equals NRT means your farts are
Right.
bigger for you and me.
It's pressure times volume equals the number of molecules times temperature times R, which is a proportionality constant. So if pressure goes, if pressure goes down, volume goes up.
Right.
And because the pressure gets less, then the volume of the gas gets bigger.
So the moral is don't take your first date into the mountains.
Right. Unless you try to get all your farts out first.
Because, well, no, I'm not worried about my farts. I'm worried about her.
She starts farting.
Yeah, you're like, oh man.
Let me show you a trick. I got a trick.
You're like, I'm gonna take you. You never been to the mountains? You're like, boy, you're gonna love it.
You're gonna love the farting.
You stop and get bean burritos, anything that will build up your. Then you take her up in the mountains and she's just ripping them. Oh, those bean burritos are getting to me, and the pressure
And
change.
PV equals nRT.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't get you a date.
Right. The whole thing is like, why has this science been ignored this whole time?
Yeah.
I think someone would have already come up with this.
Yeah, I never
one.
heard of it.
Hey,
I
you
never
going
heard of
skiing?
that before, but now that you
Going
mention it,
skiing?
it makes sense.
You going skiing at the Fart Hotel?
Yeah.
Like at
Well, I
the
think
top
once
of the
you've been up
mountain.
there a while, it equalizes out.
It does, but when you
When
first
you
get
first
up
go
there,
from down to up.
it's like when I get up there, right when I get there and I relax, it's like, It's crazy.
That makes sense, dude. I never thought of it, but
Well, like, you think it's a regular fart. You're like, I'm just gonna let it loose. Hopefully no one notices. But it turns out it's this fucking, it's like
yeah.
the brass section of a fucking symphony.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Just when you think it's done.
Huh.
You're like, you're a bartender up there and you're like, you see some new guy coming and you're like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Denver. You're like, you just get here? Yeah. You're like, hey, get ready. What? Give it a little squeeze.
You
Come
need to
on,
step
get
outside
it over
for a
with.
few minutes before you can.
Just got there from Denver, up in the mountains.
Please.
The farting section, it's a methane containment device.
Yeah.
We gather the methane and reuse it to light the streets with gas-powered lamps.
That makes sense.
We're probably going to go backwards because, first of all, we're running the fuck out of resources, and we're demolishing it and grinding it up. They're making grinders.
I heard the other day that we're
run
running out of helium. Like there's no more fucking helium. It's like,
we'll be like, remember balloons?
Remember helium?
Balloons? That's one of the things you're talking about. Like the polar bears that are starving to death. I say we just take all the whale guts from these whaling ships and we dump it on the beach and they have a smorgasbord. And then someone said, well, isn't that like interfering with nature? Like global warming from factories that melted the ice didn't interfere with nothing. What the fuck? Here's what we do. Wait, I got a better idea. Let's just let them go extinct. How about that?
it seems easier.
Well, then I tell the people the truth. Animals they've been going extinct for years and years before frag. So the dodo bird was not killed by carbon emissions. Probably killed by overhunting.
I'm sure we caused it.
But I remember going to the zoo and there'd be like an exhibit and it says extinct and there's nothing in there. It's like, what, do you think we're kidding? You're still looking like you're going to find one in there? Maybe be the guy to rediscover shit or something?
That's what they do when they got an empty case and they don't have an animal to put in there. They just put a dodo bird sign up there and put extinct underneath it.
Okay,
that'd be a cool zoo. Just a whole bunch of empty cages and then a whole bunch of signs. There's no animals in the whole zoo.
There's an island.
Extinct zoo.
That eliminated mosquitoes.
Extinct zoo.
Like for the time being. Till they ship more in packaging. Yeah. But they got rid of mosquitoes altogether. Yeah. Right? I think we all need to be doing a little research of what they did. Start. I don't know. A mosquito egg can lay dormant for 10 years.
The extinct zoo.
On the bank.
It's real easy to maintain it. You don't have to feed anything.
Egg.
It's like,
that's been sitting on the shore of a river for 10 years. And then it rains a little extra this year and the river rises up to that egg. And within minutes, that thing will turn into larva. It will hatch and be a larva. Like within minutes. It sat there 10 years, dried up like a piece of sand. How in the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's like, how old is that insect? Is it from conception of the egg? Or was it from the time he actually got wet and hatched?
Is the sperm just waiting outside the egg till it gets wet?
Oh, it's soft enough and it jumps in. How can it just be alive, dried up like that and come back? That's crazy. Yeah. Like, it's weird enough animals freeze solid in ice, but they're in ice, they're not really drying out.
There could be aliens, like, buried underground here that when the temperature reaches a certain temperature, they all fucking hatch.
Damn, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
You should be a movie writer, I think. best
I know.
stuff.
My mind is always going a
Like-
million miles an hour. Why?
What was the name of that, the condition where you're born with two
Oh, I
penises?
forgot already. Wait a minute, I have that condition.
Yeah, they're like, you go to apply to be a porn star, and they're like interviewing you, and you're like, you got any little special treats you could add to any of these films? You're like, you whip them out. How about this?
People look up stuff you searched, like if they ever look it up, and I'm looking up born with two. I'm born with two. People are like, why are you looking that up?
Just put a little note in there. Doing research.
Doing research on being born with two penises.
We were supposed to do a report for
I was
school,
doing a book report.
physical defects, and I thought, hey, what about the two?
You know how you
penis
have like
guy?
a science like fair at school? You like draw a poster and
Yeah.
shit. That'll be your subject. You have two big penises. And you got, it's called diphilia.
Diphilia. It almost sounds like an
It says
Italian term.
it says diphilia or double penis. A rare
Or known as the double dong.
double penis.
You're doing her in the butt and in her vagina at the same
Or you
time.
could do two chicks at the same time.
Well, of course you would have done that.
That would have been
already.
day one.
Goes without saying.
What am I gonna do with this extra penis?
You're having sex with her and she says, I have a friend that...
The other penis is all lonely. It says a guy with two penises
Or
answers
another.
one question everyone wants to know. That's the next one I see.
do they
What's
both
the
work?
question?
The question is, do they both work? Like they could both be hard at the same time.
Uh-huh.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
What's the question? I want to know.
It's like, you ever see that stick? It's shaped like a Y and it finds water. You whip out your two hard-ons. You're like, hey, there's water here.
Yeah. What's the question?
What do they call that thing? Oh, something stick. People believe it's true, man. They believe it's true. They got the two metal rods. They're finding
Yeah.
gold. If you could find gold with those, you'd be rich. I don't believe it.
Huh.
I don't believe one bit those things, or you would already have gold. Show me the gold. Right? Yeah, you just look like a dumbass walking around with those wires.
What about peeing? Do you pee
No
out of both
gold.
of them?
Yeah, that's true.
Never thought of that.
You could be donging one chick and getting a blowjob at the same time.
I don't
Another
know
one.
what's going on there. That don't seem right.
What I find amazing, what did it say? 1 in 5 million
I
kids
would
had it?
just get one removed.
Was it 1 in 5
It
million?
said 1
that
to
have
5,
it?
6
That condition?
million.
Okay. How many people are on the planet?
I don't know, billions?
Okay. So you mean to tell me out of all those double dong dudes out there, none of them decided to become a porn star?
Yeah.
So I would have seen that movie by now.
At
I'm
least
sure.
heard about it.
Yeah. You would be like a famous porn star, Double Dong, Damien Double Dong or some
Yeah.
shit. Double Dong Doug. Oh shit.
Oh, that's cool.
That's, hey, is there 3 penises? I wonder if there's ever been 3 penises.
Now we're just getting crazy
Notice
right
the out-
now.
Take it up a
Yeah.
notch. If I had 2 penises, I would definitely get a third one sewed on. So that I would be different than all the other double penis men
It seems
out
like
there.
that'd be something like in India or something.
Remember that Dr. Seuss where they got stars on their belly button? He's like, he's got stars. Then he had 2 stars, and they all wanted to have stars on their belly button. It's kind of the same thing. It's like an envy thing that, like, it's like fake breasts or anything you would want to add to yourself. You know, what is the ultimate?
Well, if women
goal?
had preferred that, and then they didn't want guys with one, then everybody eventually would have had two.
Because they'd only be screwing the double
Yeah,
dong
and then the
dudes.
genes would have got passed, and then we would have all had two penises.
And then when people got married, both penises would get neglected.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
You're like, enough is enough. Men can't even keep one of them clean.
Or you could have, this is my married penis, and this is my fucking around penis.
Problem
You know
is
what I'm
this.
saying?
You have to be this is the penis I make love with, and this is the one I
This is the
fuck
one I
with.
screwed around with.
Hey. That way you know. You're like, hey, don't touch that one. That one has
That
herpes.
one's the married one.
This is the good. One of them's got a lump on it, and the other one's clean. I keep this one clean, and this is for the horse.
Yeah.
This nasty
This is
diseased
the horse
penis
penis.
is for the horse. Don't touch that good one. I have
Yeah.
to remind them sometimes. They always touch the good one.
You
I'm
gotta
like,
keep the good one
nah.
all wrapped up. That's for special occasions. That one.
Christmas shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe how far we could take one stupid subject. It's crazy. My problem is this. I'm not the kind of guy that could have two because I'd be talking about it all the
Yeah.
time. Oh, yeah? They're like, hey, look, I made chocolate chip cookies. Oh, yeah? I have two penises. Look at my new car. Really? I have two penises.
Yeah.
Right.